How do you got? I got to go to Facebook and pull it up, right?
No, it's on YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Oh, there it is.
I do that.
So just mute it and then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let me share this in the group and get this going again. We got 2 people on. I hate when I press pause.
And it stops on your face.
Yeah, I want to press pause and stop on Matt's face.
I do the same shit.
Sorry, guys, been a little late. Trying to get everything going. What's up, Josh? Oh, so we're good. We're good.
Jason's on.
Trippy.
Now we're actually running a lot. So you just blame it on us, like, because we're running a little bit behind. So we're just blaming it on us. Like, they don't even know about you were at the gym. They don't know that you went and got Chick-fil-A. They didn't. That shit.
He's dry snitch. Blame it on us. They don't want to know all your hurdles that you know.
All right.
By the way, this is not my room. This is the guest room.
That's your room.
None of the magic happens. None of it.
I'm sharing it right now in the groups.
Cool.
Everybody that's jumping on, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. It actually helps. Actually, YouTube promotes it more when everybody gives this video a thumbs up, so we can get more people on here. And then in return, it just helps us all out. Thank you for that, and share the video too.
Has day been busy, productive? What's the deal?
Day's been busy, but not productive.
Yeah, not at all.
I feel you. I've been way too late, and I've been dragging.
Honestly, like, I've been trying to just focus more on these YouTube videos, man. Like, I'm literally, me and my buddy went to the gym earlier. Then we went to eat. I'm just like I'm going out to eat just an excuse to make a YouTube video.
Hey, that's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, for reals.
I got some friends that do like fitness stuff, and they're like, "Let's go for a walk downtown." I'm like, "For what?" Got to do YouTube stuff, man. Got to get some clips. I'm like,
yeah. I can't wait to see RJ just walking down the street with his camera, like talking to it,
right.
like
right. Telephone pole. Bam.
Back. Yeah.
All right, guys. See, everybody's hopping on. We got 26 people watching. Okay, cool. We're finding a good wife. This Kristen messing around. Like, always clowning, huh? She's good. Her jokes are good.
She is ruthless too, though. Like, she is ruthless. She will not pull a punch.
She has some savage jokes and stuff. They're real good, though. Like, you're talking to one of your boys, and she clowns you like that. All right, so we have Tyler on the show. Let's get into the last 7 days. We didn't do that on the last video.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do that. So last 7 days, they actually been pretty slow, and for July, I'm gonna be honest, July's last year was the slowest month for me. So, and I was actually going pretty hard at it, just uploading just random designs and doing all kinds of stuff. And I still I barely broke over 3K in royalties for the month. So the last 7 days for July right now is 170 shirts sold at $600 in royalties. Almost said 16.
Last 7 days for me is 125, and I don't know what my royalties are because I don't have it up, but it's not a whole lot of fucking money, so pissing me off.
Yeah, mine's slow too. I'm at 101 for 350. Super slow, man.
Right. Yeah. So the thing I think a lot of people need to realize too is, like, last year we had the eclipse in August, so like we moved a lot of shirts in August. August is gonna be real fucking slow too. So just prepare for it. It's seasonality. Like it is what it is. You don't get discouraged. Don't think that you suck because you're not selling shirts. Like you need to focus on just building your business out and getting it ready for October, start of Q4, and really get it ready for November, because November is where everything takes off.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Tyler, you want to kind of introduce yourself to everybody, and then just how you got on the scene, like what tier you're at, the whole
jump into
all the good stuff.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Dooley. I got on the scene just randomly. Honestly, it wasn't through Chris Green. I hear everybody says Chris Green. I didn't know who he was until like 3-4 months into this, and I was like, wait, this guy, knows a lot about this. It was honestly, I separated from the Air Force. I did 8 years in the Air Force, and then I got out, and I was looking for something to do, and I was like, I like doing stuff online. I'm always on the computer. Let me figure something out. So I was watching Gary Vee. Like that was before he was like super big. Started watching Gary Vee a lot, and I was like, dang, this dude's onto something. Like he's just motivational, and he knows his stuff too. It's not just like rah-rah, it's like, real world stuff. So I was watching him, following him, didn't really know where to take it. And then he mentioned Rizzy's Resells.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned him one day, just in a video, and I followed him on social media. And then I was doing that for a few months. And then he mentioned my boy RJ Martinez, man, the myth and the legend. And I was like, who is this dude over? He's like around my age. He's over in the West Coast, killing it, doing his thing. And I was like, I followed him. And then I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I moved back from South Carolina to Florida to be around family, and I started working, doing electrical work. That's my trade. And I don't know who it was. It was either you or Rizzy said merch, and I was like, huh. Because I remember you were doing like the Shopify stuff, and I would see like you post like your watch updates, and I'm like, that's neat, I want to do something like that. So I was like messing with Shopify, and then I applied for merch, completely forgot about it, working my 9 to 5, and then I got an email one day, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this. So then I didn't really do anything with it. It just sat in my email, I'm like, whatever, kind of forgot about it. And then you started posting your videos, and I was like, wait, wait a second, he's onto something. So then I just started messing with it. I had my Shopify designs. My cousin, he started like a beard balm and oil business. So I had designs I was trying to work on for him, and they were just generic beard, niche designs. So I just put them on merch, and then like in a week I made a sale, and I made my little $3, and I was like, ugh. Called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, this is for real. Like. Started getting into it some more, and then just studying, student of the game, man. I was watching all your videos. I think I was watching the Merch Fairy at the time. I started, I discovered the Jersey guys, and just, and then Matt, and I was just like taking it all in. And then that was around summertime of last year. Like I missed the eclipse. I remember hearing about it, and I remember I was like, what would be a good idea? Like cities along the path. And this was like a month or 2 months before. And I was like, nah, people won't buy that. Oh man, so I was way mistaken. And then I kind of just took off late September for Halloween, and then ever since then I've been going. I just hit 6K tier. It's been slow not this year. Like, I don't want to say the whole year's been slow. I've had my ups and downs, but nothing compared to Q4. Even with throttling and this and that, it was still like an eye opener, the potential of all this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So now, are you doing all the designing yourself, or how's that going? How's that working for you?
Okay. So I made some decent money, during like Q4. So I had all this money left over, and I was like, okay, I want to take this serious. I want to dive into evergreen. I want this to be, not just a seasonal thing. And I kind of like, hit my peak and sputter out through the rest of the year. So I got on onlinejobs.ph, the one you.
Yeah.
I just followed, like I said, student of the game, man. I got time to take from everybody and then kind of incorporate it and see what works for me. So I did that. I had people in the beginning from, what is it? What is the two, Fiverr and the other one?
Upwork.
Yeah, so I had a guy from there, and then he was in like the Facebook group for a while, but it's kind of like, shady business. And I was like, he's like not reliable, this and that. I'm like, I need like a set, I want a regimen. I want like everything to be, I know it's going to be like this many designs for this niche on this day. So I got them there, and I hired 3 designers. So I had 3 designers go in 5 designs a day from like December to March. And that's when ASN, they were like the BSRs were being hidden, shirts were, not selling, nothing new. So I was just throwing it all up against the wall, like, okay, just keep going, keep your head down and just hustle it out. Nothing was selling. So I'm like spending all this money, but the same money wasn't coming in as, Q4. So I was like, I got to slow down. So now I throttled it back. I got one full time. I do a lot myself now and over, which I feel like most of the stuff I make sells. I don't know if it's just because it's simpler or what, but if I put time into it, I feel like it's going to do well. So right now, one designer, no uploaders. I had an Etsy uploader for the longest, and then once the design slowed down, I kind of had to throttle them back and just upload once a week for me or something like that. But right now, it's just a 3-man band, and kind of just taking it slow and just getting ready for Q4.
Okay. So you're designing more text-based designs, right? Right now on the Over app.
Yeah, it's a lot of text-based, but I like to throw in at least a vector graphic in there. And the simplest stuff sells, man. Like whenever I have friends and family that get into it and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to make." I'm like, honestly, man, I make just a random cow mom niche, and it sells. I'm like, it's not hard, people. You just got to keep it simple and then research. I go into so many niches and I'll just be randomly, I'll be on Instagram on the explore page and I'll see something that will trigger me to go look. I'm like, hey, what's this niche doing on Amazon? And then sure enough, there'll be 37 shirts in there. A few with 500K VSRs. I'm like, okay, I can play here. And then I'll just flood it out. And then before you know it, that's I'll throw up 100 designs for that. And then 2 of them are daily, couple times a week sellers. And then there you go. You just kind of keep that process going and just jump from niche to niche to niche. That's just how I've personally done it. And I feel like it does pretty well.
Matt, what's your take on the Over app? Have you used it at all?
I haven't used the Over app. I used another one that sucked. It was just some stupid text-based thing or whatever. You know what? I've used Photoshop before, so I kind of knew how to use it. So I just do everything in Photoshop now if I need to do anything. But I don't really design a whole lot unless it's pop sockets, because then I can just kind of throw things on top of the canvas and I don't have to worry about adding in fonts and everything else. I can just make pictures.
Yeah, I used it a few times, and I actually made a sale. Remember, I was making sales, so I had my designer just do, it was a 4-leaf clover. I was like, send it over to me, just all a vintage look, all white, and I was like, and I'll just make the text off of just that. And I started making I started using the Amazon search bar and just started making designs off of that, and I actually had made 30 or 40 of them, and 4 or 5 of them made sales. So
absolutely, yeah. My number one, well, I had 2 of them. They were kind of tied. Not Halloween, excuse me. For Christmas was off the Over app, and it was text-based, and they were selling like hotcakes. And then we got throttled, and they just went away. And I'm like, no, this is that was my Christmas for me, and they were just gone. And I had my own copycats up, but none of them took off like that. And Over is very powerful, especially for on the road, not literally, but in the moment, whenever you're at the gym or something, I'm like, oh, I can do that real quick, I'm on the treadmill or something, and you'd be surprised. It's so simple, and it's effective. And if worst comes to worst and you fail, it's $50 a month? Not a month, excuse me, a year. So it's
right.
It's worth it, totally.
It's super powerful. John Balcazar, he's got a little tiny account where they have their main account that Amanda does a lot of the designing for, and then John has his own account. He's done every single design with the Over app. He just tiered up to 1K, and it literally his thing is, I don't do any design that takes me longer than 5 minutes. Every single design I've ever done has taken me 5 minutes. It's all just stupid little sayings that I do. That stuff sells, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they were at one point they were at 40, 50 designs sold in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just from doing that. So the Over app, if you just a funny saying, it does make sales, and it's pretty crazy. But you just have to have the right keywords too to just drive the traffic to it,
right,
and make the sales. I think the keywords are pretty important because, I always said too, so with the keywords, you guys want to keep the main keyword that you're trying to rank for, keep it at the very beginning of the title. Very important. So it's going to drive more traffic to that listing, guaranteed.
And one thing I've been experimenting. So I hit the 6K tier recently, so I have way more space now. So I'm struggling to find ideas some days, to upload.
Mm-hmm.
So I experiment with my keywords. I'll throw in, a free word, but a word before what I would normally put, like vintage or retro, and I wouldn't normally put that there. And then before you know it, I'm getting sales. I'm like, man, this this niche is like flooded out. So like say like the sailing niche, right? Sailing like boats and whatnot.
Yeah.
You check that out, and then like you put like a bunch of shirts with like sailing, blah 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 blah, and then you might get one of those shirts on the bottom of the page mid pack, but the second page you'll get a few. But if you put like vintage sailing shirt, I don't know how often they get searched, but you'll own a whole vintage sailing shirt if you do it right. You know what I mean? You'll have that page. The whole first and second page will be just you. Is that more powerful than having one on the sailing shirt? I'm not sure, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like,
The cool thing about that is like when it starts to sell too, you'll rank on the actual sailing page too, right? Like, so that's where it kind of really snowballs. Like you get consistent sales, like people are looking for vintage shirts or whatever, like, cause it's popular, right? So like that sells like 2-3 days in a row, suddenly it starts to climb up the main sailing page, and then it starts to really sell.
Absolutely. There you go. So that might be something to kind of dive into more. And that's what I've been experimenting. Like this whole past 2-3 months, I've just been experimenting with those kind of those little nuances that, might change, the whole game for you at that point.
Interesting. I haven't even messed with that at all, but I've been actually noticing, like, I've been paying attention to a lot of the design. I know like the vintage designs or like the vintage text-based designs are the ones that are kind of killing it. And yeah, I never thought about putting it in the keyword, like in the title.
You never put vintage in the title?
No.
I should slap you.
You never even told me.
That's a nugget.
Jesus, RJ.
You never even told me. It's been holding out.
God. I didn't think I had to tell you. I thought it was common sense.
It was common sense. Yeah.
Okay, so are you uploading the design with the vintage, and then you just because you can make it vintage by throwing like the little whatever the fuck you do on Photoshop or whatever you do.
RJ's a designer.
and then are you just plain text without the vintage?
No, well, some of them there's a bunch of text, a bunch of fonts that like have like a vintage, like a spotty look, kind of like a distressed look. And I'll just do those. Even if it's not, I'll still put vintage on there. What are they gonna do? Yell at me? Like, I don't care.
Well, sometimes too, like fonts are kind of vintage. You know what I mean? Like they might not be like distressed and it might not be weathered, but it's like more of like a vintage font. So we have some like that too. Like it's more of like a vintage style design.
I'm about to search the vintage keyword right now. See which one of the shirts are coming up.
Look at this keyword. Take over my vintage niche.
So what's your focus right now, Tyler? Like, are you all over the place? Are you doing evergreen? Are you, what's your focus as you go into preparing for Q4? Because that's the way I view like Q3 right now is all about preparing for Q4.
Absolutely. So I'm both, honestly. Like I've really been doing a lot of evergreen, Halloween, and back to school, because I remember back to school took off last year.
Yep.
Halloween, of course, was the biggest. I made like $2,000 off of a single design in 1 month in October, and I'm like, you just see that. That's what like really keep me into like the power of this.
Right.
So right now, evergreen. Some days I'll do evergreen. Other days I'm like I'm in a Halloween mood. I guess I'm like I want to do some Halloween stuff. And then back to school. That's kind of like on the bottom of the radar, but I know it's coming. And for everybody out there, like back to school is a thing for shirts.
It is for sure.
So yeah, like some days I'm doing evergreen. I'm like really trying to get my like foundation down, more solidified. And then other days I'm like, okay, what did good for Halloween last year? But like let's change it because I don't want to make another Let's Get Smashed or I'm Here for the Booze.
Right. Fucking Halloween sucked for me so bad last year. It was so disappointing. Like we came off the eclipse. I'm like, I got this figured out. I'm gonna make fucking tons of money. And we didn't sell shit.
What do you make?
Dude, like I made $12,000 in August, and then Halloween came around in September. I'm like, yes, Halloween. Let's just keep making more money. And it's like we didn't sell shit. We didn't sell anything. We had like one shirt that sold like more than 10 copies.
This is the best business ever. This is the easiest business ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I got all the answers. Like we're 3 months in, we're gonna crush this thing. I'm gonna make all the money. Nope.
Yeah, so like I like to go back and watch like not older podcasts, but like from last year or whatever. From you guys, I watch the Jersey guys stuff a lot. I study Bo like he's my dad. I'm like, okay, what's this guy doing? Like teach me, like absorb, because I remember hearing about him way back in the day, just like a post here and there, somebody thinking him. But then like I take a lot of those things, like those like philosophies and strategies, and kind of, like I said, make them my own. Like the throwing up against the wall, the more lines you have, the more chances you have to win. And that's absolutely true. So if I'm making a horse mom t-shirt, I'm going over and I'm just changing the colors, changing the fonts, changing. So it's essentially the same design, but I have like 100 of them up. And then before you know it, 5 make a sale and 2 are regular, like 2 continue. So you're kind of like building that portfolio up. And that's what I recommend to anybody that has the space is get ready for Q4, because we all know it's coming, and it is so essential that you have as many. Like, don't be lazy. Like, put in the grind now, because it's coming, and the more you have up, the more you will sell if you're doing it right with the designs and the keywords.
For sure.
Okay. So that's also with Bo. Like, well, honestly, I'm gonna tell you this right now. So with most of my designs, like say for 4th of July, I had some really good like artistic designs, and the customer actually came back. And left reviews on a lot of them, and I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay. Now you kind of take this into mind. It's like, okay, if you have the customer is going to appreciate you if you have like a good quality design, so they're going to actually come back and leave that review. So what you in return, long term, it's going to give you more sales through like long term. You know what I mean? So if you have like a good quality design, the customer is going to come back. It's going to get their attention. They're going to come back, leave your review, and it's just going to boost your shirt. And I'm getting sales still from 4th of July too because of that. And I never really thought about that. So,
and that's another like thing I want to transition into, or have as a part of my like arsenal is I want to hire an illustrator, man, because I see like what you're doing with your Instagram posts, like your stories, and like how you like the little floss and whatever, hot dog or whatever it may be. And I'm like, man, like I hit up one of my VAs. I'm like, hey man, do you know anybody? Because I canceled my online thing. So I just kind of communicate through my VAs, because they have their own network over there. So I'm like, hey man, I need an illustrator that can do stuff similar to, and I'll send him a picture. I'm like, something like this. And he's like, all right, what do you need, a portfolio? What's the deal? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I got a few boys, like I'll have them send them your stuff. So that was like yesterday, but that's what I'm going to get into, because you can take those, you pay, I don't know how much the going rate is, but say like $10 per illustration, 25, whatever. And then I saw it, what is that brand? It starts with an L, liquor, something.
Oh, you're talking about
Like. So what they do is, it's very smart. They just take one design and they'll change the caption on it, whatever, like Mommy Source Rex, Daddy Source Rex, Uncle Source Rex, Papa Source Rex. You can do the same thing. So you pay $20, but you get so many designs out of it. So that's what I want to shift towards, is me doing my mass upload thing with over, and then kind of throw it against the wall and see what sticks. But also on the other side of it, paying for these high, quality illustrations, and then having me and my designer change the little nuances to, make it more broad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the cool thing too is once you start to get those reviews, right? Like we had probably, I don't know if it was the #1 Pride shirt, but it was close to it. Like it consistently was, right at the top up there. And that was a shirt from last year. Like it was a shirt we put up last year that had reviews from last year. And then when Pride rolled around, suddenly it just took off and started selling like crazy too. So that's the other thing too, is like when you have a really cool shirt, a really good one that has those reviews, like it kind of becomes evergreen in a way. Like it comes back around when that season comes back around, it just starts selling again.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. I should have took notes, because like this whole week I'm like, hey, what? I want to go in there and ask these guys something too, because I want to know some things. How did your stuff from last year do this year? For example, your Cinco stuff, or your, whatever it may be, insert holiday here.
Right.
Notice a pickup for those things you did well last year?
Well, those designs that I had, the ones that had reviews, they're making sales consistently. So that goes back to the same topic that we're talking about. But for the older ones, no, like they really weren't making that many sales. But the ones that had reviews, like I was making like 5 to 6 sales a day. And that was pretty cool.
I think it's hard to tell with some, like, because we didn't get on the platform until like late May. So our 4th of July design that did really well last year really didn't sell shit this year. Like it sold probably 25 copies, I'd say, whereas last year it sold quite a bit. But the Pride stuff sold really well for us. All the stuff that we did for Pride. And then we'll see what happens, obviously, as we go into October and Christmas, because we had some stuff for Christmas that did okay too. But what I notice is, like, for St. Patrick's Day, for example, right? Like we weren't around on St. Patrick's Day, but I noticed that like there were some shirts out there that had like 3 or 4 reviews, and literally they sold nonstop from the very beginning, because Amazon is going to show those shirts first before all the other stuff anyways, right? Because they have proof that this stuff sells. I remember specifically, like, there's this dabbing leprechaun shirt that I thought that sucked, that the guy priced at like $21.99, and that thing sold. It was like 16K BSR the whole way through St. Patrick's Day. He made so much fucking money off that design.
Yeah.
I have like a Halloween shirt that has like 11 reviews on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was my bestseller from last year, and I copy my own stuff, you know. So like some of the copycats have a couple of reviews too. So I'm like, man, I hope Halloween treats me right, because
Right.
my biggest October was hands down like my biggest month. So
I've been making sales with Halloween already. So that's just something to think about.
I thought that sells evergreen, kind of sort of like you guys were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Where's Bo's not? I think he's gone already. I was waiting for him to reply or to pop up in the chat when he said that about him. But yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, so like just moving forward, I'm uploading. I'm not as picky with what I upload anymore. I mean, as long as it's like, you know, smart, I'm not gonna, you know, put myself in danger or whatever. But before I was like, oh, that won't sell or this won't sell. I'm like sitting there designing it. I'm like, this is not gonna sell. Like, why am I gonna waste my time? But then I'll upload it, and the most oddball stuff sells. And it'll sell like a few times. Like I had one, it was like a cow shirt, and it sold like once and then a couple times throughout the week. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. But then I'll have my designer make a cool shirt, and I'm like, this is nice. Like, I would wear this if I was into that specific thing, and then just not duds. So
no, it's crazy. Like there's like some weird stuff that's making like sales on, like, you never thought. I thought these shirts would make sales, and they're making sales, and they're killing it. I've been like lookhuman.com, like I've been using that for research, just to get an idea, like see like the off the wall stuff that's making sales, and it's yeah, pretty crazy. So
yeah, for sure.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna ask you guys, but before I forget, so as far as like outside traffic and whatnot, what do you guys think, or have you touched on this at all? On Instagram, how you have those accounts with the white dots, you can click it and, you know, buy from there. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about, like, I thought about contacting them, sending them a picture with some chick wearing a shirt, whatever, and then finding a way to have them add my stuff, you know, through like a link through the white dot, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you have to set. From what I understand, that's for like a Shopify thing. Like, it directs them from there to a Shopify store only. So I have to set up a Shopify store as well, and then do it that way. But I think in Q4 that could be, in general, that could be popular, or, you know, give you some, you know, some good sales. But have you guys looked into that, or what do you think about it?
So my philosophy on traffic is anything that I'm sending to Amazon, I want it to be mostly organic. So like Pinterest, or something that I'm building, you know, an audience or whatever. I don't necessarily want to be sending traffic that I'm paying for to Amazon, because I'm never going to have that data. I'm not going to be able to retarget them. Because I mean, if I'm going to pay for that, I want to make sure that I have the data so I can come back and remarket and retarget to them, so I can actually own that customer. Whereas Amazon is like awesome at taking your traffic, and they're stoked, right? Like sending outside traffic to Amazon will actually help your listing. It's a positive thing, but they're really good at like remarketing, retargeting other shit, not necessarily your shit. So that's been my hold off when it comes to Amazon. With Etsy, because we're really focusing on Etsy, and it looks like you're going to have the ability to install the pixel on your Etsy shop, and in fact I think you can do it right now. It's in beta. That's something that I'm definitely going to look at, is not just you know, Facebook ads or whatever, but also doing like Instagram shout outs and all of that stuff, so I can actually own that traffic, have that data, and then be able to remarket and retarget back to them with Facebook.
Absolutely. Okay, fair enough.
Interesting. So like in 2 more weeks we're gonna have a guy on that's kind of, it's going to go over all of like the Instagram marketing. He actually has several accounts, and he's doing like 200. He gets like on all the accounts, he's getting like 200K to 400K followers a month, like on different niches, like a business page, and just driving traffic to his, like the fan pages and stuff, and getting like a lot of followers. Like some fan pages getting like over 100K in followers in a month.
Wow.
So we're gonna have him on the show. I think it's in about 2 more weeks.
Yeah, it's a whole nother game. Like it's literally, that's what it is. It's a whole nother game. But what it can do, if you can figure out how to build that audience, like there's so much money in that. Like you can just do so much with that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's your vision in terms of what you're going to be doing with merch, Tyler? Because obviously, you know, this is kind of a little bit of a side hustle for you. Like, do you want this to become your full-time hustle?
It's not something I want to let go or let die or kind of like back away from ever. I don't think, because it's fun.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting. The whole like all the aspects of it, like the marketing, the design, keywords, you know, stuff like that, are very interesting to me. It was always supposed to be a stepping stone for me. I'm like, oh, I can make money here and then spend it here to do this. Yeah. So there's a couple things I'm kind of entertaining and doing some light research on. I eventually want to own like a brick and mortar business, but it's not going to be, you know, merch related or anything that has anything to do with this. But I definitely think the skills I've learned just in a year from this are going to help me to grow that. So it's definitely a stepping stone. I kind of branch out into Etsy. And I mean, these are all things I want to be like actually in. I don't want to get anybody to do it for me and then kind of walk away at any point. I want to stay with it.
Cool.
What do you guys think is taking Amazon so long to give us tanks? Have you heard anything about that?
We talked about it with them. Like, it was literally like every person that was there at the meeting with Amazon in Vegas was like, so when are we going to get tanks? And it was kind of interesting, right? Like, and I don't know how much this is just her being like kind of cagey and holding it back. But she was, you know, talking about how they put a lot of data into the stuff that they're going to be offering. It didn't sound like it was coming super soon. So, which is disappointing. Like, I feel like tank tops would just crush. Like, dude, we sell so many tank tops on Etsy. But,
yes, same.
Yeah.
Like, I have a whole store that just like 90% tank top sales. I'm like,
right.
Come on, Amazon, like let me go.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, shirts are definitely like their lead money thing, you know what I mean? Like just the shirt thing. And maybe it's just easier to print on those, because I don't know what the process is necessarily to like do tanks. I don't know how different it is with the machines and everything else. But phone cases for sure coming next. And then, you know, hopefully we'll have a chance to talk to Amazon again at some point in the future, and we can just keep drilling it in their head like tanks. Everybody wants tanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, like too before start the show, like July is a very slow month, and I honestly haven't seen anybody that's like in the higher tiers actually crushed July. Like, really can't say that. But like as far as as far as designing, I really haven't seen, like, a lot of the top guys are like, yeah, July is the slowest month because everybody's going on vacation and stuff. So,
yeah, no one's at home ordering shirts. Are all up at the beach or vacations or theme parks or summery things. So I get it.
Actually,
everybody gets back in the house and their computers. That's what we do.
Now August actually picked up for me. It started picking back up again, and everything starts to like just increase like from there. So like now, like a lot of people are like messaging me like, what's going on? But right now, like it's like it's low right now, but it's gonna shoot back the month, so we should be good. So
yeah,
it's part of business.
You got to just keep your head down and go. Like, don't even look at your numbers. Don't stress it. Just stay focused, because you know it's coming. I promise you. It just Q4 is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and even with the throttling, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Anybody got any questions for Tyler? There's probably a few of them in there right now.
Kristen Harris wants to know if Tyler can take his tank top off.
Yeah, you gotta Venmo me or Cash Out me some money. I don't do that. that was back in my younger years. I'm now, so.
That's all right, RJ. Young wants you to put a shirt on.
Where's Young at? He's in here?
He's in the other group.
What other group? Oh. Plus, like, I'm gonna suck it.
Lori,
don't tell that.
Lori Dizon wants to know if anybody's doing FBA. Do you do anything with Amazon other than merch?
No, I'm baby to this. All this is new to me. Like, I noticed a lot of the guys in here now are like, oh, I used to do FBA, and then I found out about merch. Right. Me, I just went like straight from the military, kind of like partied for a year, and I'm like, all right, let's go try this internet thing out. And then merch was the first thing that really took off. So.
I'll be honest with you, like your story, it's funny. Like it's identical to mine, right? Like I was watching Gary Vee, I've been watching Gary forever, like stumbled across Reezy somehow. He mentioned him once, and I was like, okay, well, let me check this out. And that's how I fucking long road found RJ and found merch and got started on it. It's the exact same thing.
yeah, I love it. It's cool to, you know, kind of see it all unfold. And now, so I was working at, like I said, I was working at this hospital I'm down in Florida by Tampa, so I was working at St. Pete, and I was like, man, you know, I was like always on my phone, like looking for stuff to get into, just research, blah blah blah. And then I started making some money off Amazon. You know, I got into merch, and I'm like, this is actually, you know, taking off. So like the end of September, like my sales were like, and then boom, like Halloween rush hit. I had a bunch, not a bunch, but I had, you know, 20, 30, and I was in the lower tiers at the time, shirts in there. And then like they started to take off. Like I had one or two take off. I'm like, you know, this is nice. And then, you know, it got more serious and more serious to the point where I was making like, not as much as I was making my normal job, but I was like, if I get out and just go to school, kind of like, you know, work, finish my degree, whatever, and get the VA money, then the merch can just supplement whatever I'm missing plus more. And that's what I did. And I'm like, now I just go to school and just work on merch all day, like always on my phone, or I'm always either on my phone, like making stuff, I'm uploading, I'm doing research. I'm getting better at research. Like before I was kind of like, whatever, I'll just do my own thing. But now somebody mentioned that like everything you need is like for research is on Amazon itself. Like if you get the keyword expander, which I just found out the other day, I was watching an old podcast, and I think was it Esney that said it? I don't remember who said it. Or no, it might have been you, Matt. You were talking about
I think I'm the one that kind of broke it to everybody. That tool is fucking amazing.
Yeah, so I'm like on there, like just being, and I'm like, okay, what can I do now? And then like I'll just go from there. So I'm always like, I'll, you know, play some video games and I'll play some video games and I'll research. Play some, you know, I'm just like go to the beach and I'll come back. Another thing, man. Okay, so some of my top evergreen stuff right now, like since I started, is stuff I see like out in public on people's cars, the little car stickers. Basically,
yeah.
My number one shirt like for March was somebody, like I was sitting there driving, I'm in a red light, and this chick had like her little, you know, little Prius or whatever it was. I'm like, click. Sends my designer. I'm like, hey man, can you do this? I want this one, and I want a few different variations. Sure enough, I uploaded it, and then thing has like 5 reviews now. Oh my god, I love this shirt. I'm like, easy money, like just stuff like that. It's so, I'm out in public. I'm like just, I have people watch to begin with, but now I'm like super creepy about it. I'll be at the park with my daughter, and I'm just like,
for sure,
looking at this lady. She thinks I'm checking her out. I'm like, no, I like your shirt, and then like, I'll make just random shirts for myself, and they'll do good. Like my number one Father's Day shirt was something I made for myself. Just so I was like, I never expected it to sell ever, and then now it's got like 5 reviews. It's got copycats. I wore it to the gym yesterday, so I probably gave away which one it is, RJ, if you check out my story or whatever.
I seen it. I remember.
The girl at the front desk, like, oh my god, I love your shirt. Like, where'd you get it? I'm like, Amazon. And then she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, go search it. Blah, blah. I told her like what to search, and I was like, there's a couple like, you know, in there. Hopefully she picks mine and get a sale out of it. Should have told her, you know, whatever. But just stuff like that. I'll make shirts. Like when I first started, I was dating this girl, and that's how for the lower tiers, make shirts for your friends and family. Yeah. Like guilt them into buying your stuff. Like, I'm trying to start a business, like support me, and then I'll make you whatever.
Oh.
Just lose Tyler.
Yeah. My buddy at his housewarming party, he was wearing a shirt that I made for him. He got drunk at the end, started talking shit to me. He's all throwing firecrackers at me. He's all, boom. I was like, you better stop. Almost hit me with one. Like the ones that go, bah-da-da. What happened? I think he probably just lost connection.
I think he lost connection, yeah. Just give it a second.
Do you follow him on the stories?
On Instagram, yeah. Tyler's got has good stories.
Do you see his shirt he's talking about?
No, I haven't been on Instagram in a couple days.
Okay, let me see. We'll go back there. He just said something out there. Let me see. CPU crash getting on the laptop.
All right. People are asking about Prime Day. Prime Day wasn't anything special last year, right? Like I remember getting all excited because Prime Day was going to be awesome, and then Prime Day was just like it was just another day for merch.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, though. But they've been doing a lot of discounts, though, so you got to keep that.
Everybody's going to Prime Day because they want to buy something at a big like discount, and merch shirts aren't on discount.
Well, I see some shirts that are like $7.65 and stuff like that. I'm like, how are they doing that? Like they're running a sale on some shirts. Like if they start selling.
I bet you what, because so what they'll do is they'll print, like, so say you have a design that's like popping off for Father's Day or whatever, right? Like they'll print stuff in advance. So they'll like if they have copies that are sitting around that haven't been sent out yet, they'll sell those at a discount. Just to clear the inventory.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It says there's a question right here, Matt. It says, Matt, have you ever considered getting into CreateSpace?
Have I considered getting into CreateSpace? Yeah, I've considered it. I know a lot of people are talking about those journals right now. Like that seems to be the craze. Everybody wants to do the ones with just you upload the.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at it, man. I got no time.
Honestly, right now it'd be actually a really good idea because back to school. You know what I mean? Right now is a really good time because you're gonna. Okay, it's a trend. You know what I mean? So you're gonna ride that trend, and you're gonna leverage that trend to actually boost into starting another business. So yes, it's a really good idea. I'm not going to really touch too much on it, and I've been doing something like that, and I see the potential in it, and the potential is really big. All right, so
if you guys haven't noticed, RJ has published author in his Instagram.
Here we go. I'm waiting to drop $1,000 course. That's what it is, guys.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Matt, 50% affiliate links. Now, honestly, with the CreateSpace part, I'm doing some stuff. I'm testing some stuff. So don't get me wrong. Like I honestly, like me and Matt thought about this it was like 3 months ago. We were just chatting through the Slack channel, and then that actually came up, and I was like, you know what? Like, how come we're not putting designs like on other stuff? Like, you know what I mean? How come we're not leveraging the designs that we have and putting them on other products? So that came up into mind, and then I did it, and then started making sales. So that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to talk about, and with that little topic.
I mean, it is, yeah, whatever. Neither of us are ready to talk about what we're doing there, but it's different than what everybody else is doing.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Less competition.
For sure.
No. Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, my computer just blue screened on me. That was weird. What I missed?
Yeah, you're on the remember the link of Amazon. You were at the gym. The front desk girl.
Yeah, and then so like my number one stuff is just random stuff I kind of just did, you know, like making your own stuff. Like I think in the beginning, whenever like we started or when we were early in it, it was okay to like just copy, and then go from there. But now I think the more like just random creative stuff people come up with does better than
for sure
than the copy stuff. Because I feel like if I copy somebody's stuff, 9 times out of 10 it's not gonna ever sell, not even once. But
as he means like as in copy stuff, he means like as in like making the design better, not copying it pixel for pixel. Everybody that watches this video, do not copy a design pixel for pixel. You guys, that's how you get your guys' account terminated. Okay. No, a lot of people do that, and that pisses me off.
No, I hate that. Even if it's like off, I get upset because I'm like, man, come on, you know what you're doing. Yeah, not copy, but copy like the theme of it. So like, just change up the whole design, but it's like, kind of similar. You can kind of tell. Don't copy pixel for pixel.
Yeah.
I've had people report me. Like I've had stuff come from my designers. I had to fire designers because they would report me, and I'm like, what are they talking about? And I'd look at it like it was for like a pirate shirt, like the Pi Day pirate shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they sent Amazon like a in-depth reasoning of like how I copied their stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I clicked the link and I'm like, dang, that is their design. My designer just like moved this here and did that.
Right.
And I'm like, I was like, bro, you can't be doing that. Because like I told the guy, I'm like, yeah, I'll just take it down. My bad. I didn't even look at it because I'm not like going through and combing through Amazon, seeing what they're sending me. So. If you get creative and you come up with something really good, those will sell like better than a lot of stuff that you kind of just get inspiration from through Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. Tyler, have you on CreateSpace? Have you messed with that at all?
CreateSpace, no, I don't think I've messed with the CreateSpace at all.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was a question that was asked earlier. Let's see. You're fired.
Have you guys, while you're looking, have you guys done any of the local merch stuff? I've kind of like started researching that and then kind of like picking out potential like candidates. You guys
time?
So I picked up my first client. He's an existing client for my other business, like a couple weeks ago. We haven't really started getting it live. We're still working out some of the details, but that's going to be one for sure. That's actually, I think, my main focus probably going forward, because I have the operation for merch set up, right? Like it's just, I don't need to be doing the uploading and all that stuff. Like I have somebody that can do that for me. My wife's the designer. I have designers on our team. So I need to figure out something else I can do that will bring in more money. And I think local is by far the biggest opportunity. So that's kind of my focus for the next couple of months. I really want to hammer local really hard. I think it can be really, really good.
Now, which aspect of it are you doing? Are you doing like the advertising way? Like, hey, people wear these shirts, and
it's going to be it's testing, man. Like we're going to start off kind of doing something similar to Mike with just talking to people that are actually already doing advertising, because they already have an advertising budget, so they're doing it, and it just kind of fits into it really well. It makes sense to me. It's kind of qualifying the buyer before you even start, versus like cold, going out and doing cold traffic and knocking on doors. Like you're going to get a lot more no's if you don't know that person's already doing advertising. But one of the things I'm really focused on is I want to build a system that I can scale, that I don't have to be tied to a location, right? Like I don't want to worry about just doing businesses here in California where I'm at. I want to be able to reach out to those people, actually create a funnel that draws traffic to me, and then I can do it anywhere in the U.S.
So is that your main? What you're putting a lot of your energy into these days?
That's the newsletter, and that have been my two biggest focuses for the last month. And now that the newsletter is kind of set up and ready to go, local merch is my focus.
Gotcha. I have to subscribe to the newsletter. I think I was in the gym listening to you guys, and I was like, "Whoa, he's got a newsletter now, huh?"
Yeah, we're getting fancy.
Yeah. Actually, so the newsletter, I fixed it. It's down below. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the newsletter, it's down below. It's free. Okay. It's we're gonna be putting out weekly content on just like trending stuff. Just
It's
everything.
Honestly, man, like it's gonna be our thoughts on like what you should be thinking about, and not necessarily like what you should be thinking about next week, but like what you should be thinking about for the next 3 months. And then also it's like sharing stuff that our friends are talking about too. So like our friends are actually gonna come on and write some of the content for us too, talking about things that they do that are different than us. It's going to be free. It's our chance to like kind of pay it forward to the community. Because like when RJ started out, like Matt Carlett helped him out, right? Like gave him some advice on what he should be doing. When I started out, RJ helped me out, and then some other people helped me out. So it's just a chance to like kind of give back to people. And then also, there's so much shit that gets charged for right now that's bullshit. And I want to put something out that's really good that is not bullshit. You know what I mean? Like we don't need to sell a bullshit course. Like you guys come out, support us all the time. Like I want to give you guys something back that's really cool.
Shots fired. Unicorns are born in July. Shots fired.
What about
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So that was pretty much. That's. There's letter. You guys rock. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like Matt. So when they sign up to the newsletter, is it going to be? It's already good to go, right? Like everything's.
I'm going to send out the first newsletter tonight. I got to finish up a couple things on it. But if you signed up, you should get, just in terms of bonus content, I went through and I updated our article on how to tier up quickly, like how we did it. And it's like 3,000 words of exactly how I would go about starting my account right now to tier up from the 10 tier all the way to the 500. There's a lot of information in that. So the first newsletter will actually go out tonight. I just got to finish up some things with RJ once we get off this call, and then you'll get another newsletter coming right after behind it that I think is pretty good.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. Let's. You guys got any more? You got any questions at all for Tyler at all? It was there was a question about a crate space, and that was it.
If you got anything, RJ, you can ask me for gym tips. You don't have to be shy.
I highly suggest all you guys follow Tyler on Instagram. His Instagram account is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, if you want, give me that link to your Instagram too. We'll put it down below in the description. Get that following up. It's slacking a little bit.
Heart.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Tyler's a cool guy. He's real cool. I don't even, like, honestly, he just popped in the DM one time and we just started talking and just went from there. And then he just honestly, like, really didn't need too much motivation at all. And he knows what he's doing. Like, I'll give him a little bit of hints here and there, and he'll just take off with it. And then he'll come back at me. And once he knows that, like once you see somebody, you give them like one tip and they take off and they come back with the account and they show you like their numbers and you're like, okay, cool. All right, now like you're on my level. Like you actually are trying. So there's a lot of people out there like think there's some like golden ticket. There's no golden ticket. You just got to put in the work and just try it too. Like he said, like he's driving and I see like stuff too. You'll see a sticker. That sticker on the side of a car is actually like a shirt design. A lot of people don't understand that, but it is a sticker on the side of a car is a shirt design too as well. So absolutely, man.
If I could, I was trying to think of like how to add to this because I felt like I was like I'm not like the people they have on there, you know, like I'm not an Etsy guru or I'm not this dude pulling $9,000 a week cough and other things. But you know, like, but I know a little something. Like I was just some random dude that tried it, and now it's like it's been 1 year. I think I looked at my numbers. I had like 1 or 2 sales in June and then 3 or 4 in July, and then kind of going from there. But I was like, man, like what's one thing that you did that you could kind of like offer to new people coming in? It's just try everything. Like I know you don't have a lot of space in lower tiers, and we were all there. I remember like thinking like, oh come on, like I need 3 more sales to tier up past 25. And I went to my like cousin's girlfriend who's a teacher. I'm like, listen, I know y'all teachers need them shirts. Like, what do you want done? I'll go back and forth. I'll have my designer put something together for you, and then we'll come to a deal. Like I'll give them bare minimum price, and that's what we did. And then I got out of tier 25. But it's just try everything, man. Like I got one of my best friends in it, and he's really big into fishing in the fishing Facebook groups. So he'll get orders of 30 at a time, and he's just banging it out that way to tier up. So there's so many hustles out there.
For sure.
The Overapp, I don't get any money from them. I have no reason to gas them up, but it's just the first app I came in contact with that does things for me. Like I've made thousands off just designs from Over total throughout the course of my like merch career. So I would get the free version and play with this if you like it, or whatever. Just go. Just what's coming up. I promise you, you're gonna be kicking yourself now, or you're gonna be kicking yourself, early December when sales start rolling in. You're like, you're gonna feel guilty. Like I didn't go as hard as I could have. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like messing around, watching TV on Nines and I feel guilty. So just push it, man. Push it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I was in the same situation last year. Like, I felt guilty that we didn't push as hard as we could have going into Q4 because we got frozen and like we couldn't upload anything more. And I was like, motherfucker! Like, just we would have made so much more money. Like, we made good money, but we would have made so much more money. We would have just actually just drilled down and just uploaded.
Do you guys think a freeze will be this year too?
Amazon said that their goal is to not have that happen. It's gonna all come down to like how much fucking demand there is. So I mean, having that extra facility, like for sure, that's going to make a big difference. I mean, the biggest thing I look at right now, right, is we have, you've got 500 slots a day to upload to, right? Like a tier 6K, like that exists for a reason. It's because they have a whole nother facility that they're printing for, that like they want to make sure those printers are never running empty. You know what I mean? So I think that Ken actually, his take on it, I think, is the best, right? So if we do have a freeze, that's actually a positive thing. And it's a positive thing because it means that there's more demand than Amazon can handle. If there's more demand than Amazon can handle, that means they're going to expand the program and it's going to get bigger. So in the long run, it's a positive thing. It's like, it just means there's more and more demand. The more demand we have, the more resources they're going to devote to this, the better it's going to be for us in the long run.
Gotcha. What's the next event you guys are going to or hosting? I know Marcella, whatever it's called now.
That's going to be in January. RJ needs to get his shit together and actually find some dates, because we get asked about that constantly. Get on that shit. And then Seattle in September is the next thing that big thing that we're going to be going to, but that's going to be very limited. Like there's only 150 seats, so I think that there's going to be more demand than there are seats for that place.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be a little bit bigger, honestly.
I think it should be bigger too, but Chris already booked the room, so it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
we have any more questions for Tyler, guys?
Open book.
Bumper sticker. I think that was it. I think.
Definitely follow his Instagram though. Like Tyler's Instagram always makes me smile.
I try, man. I try to mix it up.
Yeah, for sure.
My daughter or some, douchey gym pics, but whatever. Keep going.
So send it to send me that. I'll send me that link right now, and then I can put it down below and we'll see what happens. Do you get any followers or not?
You want the Instagram like name?
Like your link to your profile.
Okay, hold on. Give me one. I'll send it to you. You want it right now or?
Yeah, just send it after. It's fine.
Right.
We'll update it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Tyler. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you
Sure,
for taking the time out of your day to come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
thank
sure.
you, brother.
And then I'm pretty sure we're gonna get you on next year again. So we're gonna hold this accountable right here, dog.
I'm ready. I'm gonna be passing everything Martinez. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can, if you can travel in January, if you can make it out to, you call it MerchCon? Is that what you're calling it now?
MerchCon, hosting,
MerchCon.
hosted by, I don't know.
We'll figure that out. But yeah, if you can make it out for that, that'd be a lot of fun.
If it's open bar, I'll be there.
It'll definitely be open bar.
All right.
On RJ.
Oh yeah, sure. You better
All
start writing. You better start writing more newsletters 3 times a week now.
Newsletters.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Everyone have a good night. Please give the video a thumbs up. The free newsletters down below and share the video. Thank you.